Welcome to Primetime, everybody. I'm gonna screw that up again. Welcome to welcome to Primetime, everybody. This is episode 24, and tonight we are talking about the Einstein Kills album. Welcome to Horrorwood. There we go. I got it right this time. I'm your host Hunter Chambliss. I'm joined by my co-host Chad and Kerri. How's it going, guys?
Going great, thanks.
Yeah, agree. Going great. Looking forward to talking some music today.
Yes, very intriguing that we are changing up the format a little bit, talking about a band that has an album dedicated to horror films that we love, Einstein Kills. But before that, I do want to give you guys kind of the breakdown on what Einstein Kills as a band has gone through, because they are multi-genre um, band. So they started off in the early 2000s as a ska punk band. It like at the time of like um, I would say almost the sound of like a early Fallout Boy was their sound before going into more of a heavy metal and like metal hardcore sound. So the band is led by Spencer Charnas, who is a huge horror fan, as you guys can clearly tell. But um, their albums previously, they had kind of this same idea. So you had the Silver Scream 1, which was a lot of the classic horror films that he did. But before that, they had an album called Every Trick in the Book, which is every song was dedicated to a certain book. So they had an Alice in Wonderland song. They had a song based on Carrie, the novels, the novel version of Carrie. So a lot of that Jekyll and Hyde, a lot of the different like novels that he turned into kind of songs and things like that, and that's where they really started getting into the metal scene a lot. Welcome to Horrorwood also peaked number 18 on the U.S. Billboard 200, so that's a huge milestone for them. Um, so, little brief history pass. Let's go to Chad and Kerri for their reaction to Welcome to Horrorwood.
Okay, I'll go first. I think the concept is so cool. I had listened to some of the Ice Nine Kills stuff before, and I think actually it might have been because Hunter recommended checking it out. Their first album, I've listened to, if not the whole thing, I've definitely listened to songs from it. Um, and it's um, this next album was really cool as well. I think the concept just is so cool. The concept of creating these songs based on horror movies, horror franchises. It's fun to like kind of pick up what the song might be about, to hear the references to the movies, and then to hear kind of the, because they insert clips of the movies sometimes. That was really cool to hear as well. Um, like I typically don't listen to metal, so I definitely gravitated more towards the songs that had sort of more of a pop punk element. You can tell. That's interesting you said that, Hunter, that was their background, because now it makes sense. And I think it is interesting, I think, how they combine metal and some of those like pop punk roots.
Yeah, for me, I'm a little more mixed. I agree with Carrie. I think it is a really cool concept, like a different kind of way to make music. It's like, you got to write about something, and dude loves horror, or the band loves horror. I can't remember if you said it was just one guy or a whole band, but they really do a good job at structuring it towards something, and showing their passion for a specific film or genre, like a subgenre or something like that. I'm kind of more personally a bit of a music snob. So for me, listening to it, it's not really my style, like not something that I would gravitate towards and listen to myself like a lot, but giving it a chance and kind of opening my mind to it, there were some songs that really hit with me as far as being catchy, and like being that earworm that Kerri can tell you, I was walking around kind of singing the chorus of one of them, and I'm like, damn it, Hunter, you got me singing this one song. Yeah, it's a fun concept, not something I would definitely listen to all the time. I like some songs more than others. Some songs I didn't like at all. So it'll be interesting to kind of go through these and rank these a little bit.
Yeah, so that's very intriguing. Of like, there are songs that, even though it's not your type of music, Chad, that like the chorus gets stuck in your head, and that's something that Einstein Kills does really well. Is they'll write really catchy choruses that even if you don't remember anything else from the song, you'll remember that chorus. It'll just stay in your head for a long time. And it's just something that's really quick and catchy that just kind of stays there with you.
Yeah, and like Kerri said, I'm very much so on her page too, as far as what she preferred and what she didn't prefer in the album. Where I like the ones where it's like a really catchy chorus, it's kind of fun and pop, and it's talking about some movie that you like, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But then when it gets to like the kind of the heavy metal growling and stuff like that, for me, a lot of the
Yeah,
times,
there's
that's
one
where
song on there that I
that's where it kind of gets
I know what song you're talking about.
abrasive for me. And honestly, I think in general, just in the horror genre, those types of movies that are very like like Rob Zombie Halloween, like metal, I'm like,
Mhm.
not my style. But I know some people love that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
and I will say though, the movies aren't, or the songs aren't really all about like kind of like Rob Zombie movies
No,
or
no, no, no.
something. They're kind of at least it seems pretty
Eclectic.
all over.
Yeah, yeah.
So, speaking of that, I do want to play a little game, as Jigsaw would say, where I'm going to go through I'm going to randomize it, and then we'll see if you guys can guess the movies based on the title and what you heard. Okay?
Oh, I was thought I was gonna have to go get a saw. Thank God.
I will say I know 9 of them for sure. 3 of them I'm not sure about, so I'll be interested to see what they actually are.
Okay, so there
I
are
think I know
two
about
on
like
here that.
7 for sure, maybe 8. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
so
on the
there are
same
the
similar.
first two on the album opening night and Welcome to Horrorwood are not based on any horror
Right.
films, so
Oh,
we can
okay.
take those out.
I wasn't sure. I
So,
guessed at one
Oh.
when he's just talking.
all right, so we'll do an easy one. We'll start with "Hip to Be Scared," featuring Jacoby Shaddix. What movie is that referencing to?
That's definitely one of the easier ones. We actually, I don't know if this is how you figured it out, but actually on Spotify they play part of the video, and it's pretty obvious from that
Oh,
what it is.
Oh, they also play part of the clips from the movie, I think. Of
Okay.
The song, or they say lines from the movie.
they
Probably.
definitely say lines,
have
yeah.
some videotapes.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it is American Psycho.
American Psycho.
It is indeed American Psycho, which, by the way, the whole video is hilarious because he does the whole Patrick Bateman dance during the breakdown scene with the
Nice.
trench coat and everything like that, and he kills Jacoby with the papers. It's amazing. The video's amazing.
Do we
So,
want to actually
we'll
go ahead? I was just going to ask how you wanted to kind of go about this. Do you want to go ahead and just tier rank that one since we brought it up and talk about it real
Yeah.
quick? Or?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
So, from S to C, where would you guys put Hip to Be Scared?
I'll go first. This was an A tier for me. I thought this one was very catchy. I really enjoyed listening to it. And I thought the references to American Psycho and the lyrics were really fun. And, cool.
Yeah, I'm actually on the same page as Kerri. I would definitely put this in the A tier as well, just because like it's definitely not as abrasive as other songs. I don't even think it was very abrasive at all. I think it was very fun.
Yeah.
And I liked there was some like the instrumentation sometimes went from the straight kind of like what he normally plays to like this kind of like 80s like Huey Lewis in the News type of vibe. And I was like, this is
the
interesting.
breakdown is amazing.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the song, what's interesting is when it speeds up and he's talking on the phone to his lawyer. He's pretty much saying the exact same thing that Patrick Bateman said at the end of the Miracle Cycle, where he's like, we said I killed George, Chris, and Mike, stabbed Jose with a knife, and then he just breaks down how many people he's killed in that scene, and it does tally up because that's the band members are what he's talking about. He ends up killing all of them in the in the video itself. All right, so let's go to I'm not gonna say a harder one, but kind of a meatier one. Let's go worst vacation.
I would say that's a harder one because that was one of the three I wasn't sure about.
I have a guess on this one.
Me too. What's your guess?
Okay, and so this song, I don't want to give away where I might rank it, but this one, I wrote a note. Screaming in German, not a fan. That's the note that I wrote. But also, and this may be because we were literally just watching this movie, I think it might be an homage to Michael Haneke's 1997 Funny Games.
I will say that I thought about that because we were watching the movies today. I went back and listened to the song again. I still am going to go with my original guess, which was Hostel.
Okay.
Kerri is correct. It is indeed Hostel.
That's a more mainstream movie to guess, but I knew it was something to do with a vacation and maybe Germany.
I think he mentioned something about like this club is like something.
So he says, pack your bags, take a seat, soon you will arrive. Once you're there, start to bid, kiss your ass goodbye, is one of the opening lyrics. Mm-hmm. And then the one that really tells it to me is, where is it? Where he says, grab the drill, grab the axe, the fun has just begun. I'm going old school, a gun is too American.
Okay.
Because they said that line.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seen like clips of Hostel, like I mean.
Oh, really? But... That's when I'm like nervous to watch.
Yeah, it's like one of those like that dubs it like torture porn and kind of a deal. It's like if that's your style, then you're really gonna love it. But
which I will say, like this album is really good because they base how hard or how like heavy metal the song is based on the movie they select. So Hostel is more of a grungy like torture porn like down and dirty film, and listening to this song you kind of feel that it gives you that mindset of like, okay, that's the movie they're going with, and that's kind of the lyrics that they choose and the sound they go for to choose it. All right, so let's rank worst vacation. I like this song personally, but I like a lot of these songs and I like kind of a heavier sound. I would go probably B minus, just to kind of even it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one was B tier. So.
I definitely threw this also in B tier because there's one I like less.
Oh, I know. I know which one that is.
Probably.
It might be unanimous. We'll see.
Well, maybe that's like Hunter's favorite song, though. I don't know.
Maybe, and he's like, "Wait, what?
Maybe
you hate that one?" That's
no, to be fair, no, seriously, I had Worst Vacation as my ringtone for so long. Hearing the sirens when people called me was hilarious.
Oh gosh.
That's fine.
All right, so let's go with kind of another harder one, A Rash Decision.
We were actually talking about this, and we didn't really discuss it.
No.
But we were discussing, do you know what that is? And then I was actually asking Kerri, I was like, is this a movie from what you think it is, that if I didn't guess it, I would be embarrassed? And she was like, I don't think so. But maybe, I don't know.
This is the one I'm the most unsure of.
Okay, let me throw out mine because you still are probably more sure than I am. I guessed Cabin Fever.
Oh,
Kerri?
Cabin Fever. I said The Bay.
So it is indeed Cabin Fever.
Yeah, I got one!
Good job! Yeah, so there's a lot of good lyrics based around
Fevers.
it's underneath our skin. No medicine can stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Only shot from me can only contain the atrocity of fever spread in the air. So the whole idea of like a toxic fever that causes bleeding eternally and kind of eats the skin alive as well.
It's also a movie I still haven't seen,
I haven't seen
but
it
I
yet.
know because
It's one of Eli
I love the
Roth's
dude
best.
who does this podcast. What is his name?
Eli Roth?
Eli Roth.
Yeah.
Eli Roth.
I don't know if I would love his films. Didn't he also do Hostel?
Yeah,
Or was
he's
that
in
okay?
Hostel,
He also
I
did
don't think I
Hostel
would.
as well.
I don't think I would dig his films.
I feel like
but-
Cabin Fever is probably I've heard is the best things about
It
that
is.
one.
I thought I saw it was like 0% on Rotten
No,
Tomatoes.
never mind.
I could be wrong about that. I
Really?
mean,
There's the
I'm-
original and there's a remake.
maybe it was the
Yeah.
remake that I was looking at. I need to check it out just to stop being that weird snob that doesn't actually give things a chance.
All right. So where would you guys put A Rash Decision?
I actually really like this one. I thought it was pretty catchy. I would put this in A tier.
Okay.
For some reason, I said B tier, but I'm not sure. I can't hear this one in my head right now, so I
Yeah.
said B tier, but I probably would be fine with it being an A tier.
What do you think, Hunter?
Okay. I'm definitely okay with this being an A tier. It's a song that I will listen to, but it's not my favorite on the album. But it's definitely a really good one. So A Rash Decision will go in the A tier. All right. Oh no, I do not want to get copywritten. I'm on like my YouTube music and I accidentally clicked on one and I was like, no, I do not want to get copywritten. All right, so let's go with FLY. This should be an easy one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. Kerri?
Kerri, do you want to take a guess?
The Fly.
Is
It
it
is indeed.
is it Cronenberg's The Fly though, or
Yes, Cronenberg's The Fly.
all right?
Yes, indeed, Cronenberg's The Fly. So, where would you guys put Fly on the ranking?
I can't hear it in my head. This is another one I can't hear in my head. Like
Mhm.
it probably has a chorus that just didn't actually stick with me. But for some reason, I still said A tier, so I must have enjoyed it.
Oh, interesting. I said B tier for this one because I thought this one was
Okay.
a little bit more
Scream,
metal.
metal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I just
Kind of-
don't want to gravitate to it.
I think I just threw on A tier while I was cooking or something, listening to the music.
Kind of interesting that
Hunter will be the
Kerri said
decider.
that Fly was more of the like a metal one because that's actually the softest like radio play song on the album.
Really?
Oh, okay.
It's more of a because it's based in its lyrics off the fly, so it's more slow tempoed.
Yeah.
A lot of really good cleans, a really good like kind of melody type sound behind it.
Maybe it was because the chorus wasn't hitting as much. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. You know what? I'm okay with Fly being in B tier.
Okay.
To me, it's a really good song, but there are more that I'd like to put in A and S later on. So
Gotcha.
FLY. All right, let's get the easy one out of the way. Ex Mortis.
Yes. Evil Dead franchise.
Chad.
Yeah, exact. I'm glad you said Evil Dead. What?
You're sure it's this
Oh.
one?
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually said Evil Dead franchise because at first I was like, "What's the Evil Dead?" And then I was like, "Wait, he mentions like every single one." I don't know if he mentions the remake, but he definitely mentions the Raimi ones.
Yeah.
He says the Army of Darkness,
Mhm.
and then he says Groovy, which I don't think he
Groovy's
says Groovy in the first one, does he?
I don't think so. I
No.
think
It's the second one.
It's definitely the second one and the third, but I don't think he said it in the first one. So yeah, so he mentions all three, and then the one is like 5 people going into the basement or whatever, reading the book. So it's definitely the first one as well. So that was a pretty cool song.
Yeah, so I actually love how the opening of the song is, you can hear kind of the funky, like, kind of playful sound, and then you hear the creaking of the floorboards as
Yeah.
well, and then it hits the breakdown, and that this song has one of my favorite breakdowns when he's talking about join the army of darkness, don't resist, and hits the Necronomicon Ex Mortis line. Ah, it's so fun. I love this song. Where would you guys put this on your tier ranking?
Oh, this one I said A tier. Because I have a soft spot for Evil Dead, and the song I think was still really well done, and I liked the old timey opening music that they were playing, which is kind of cool.
I like that as well. This was actually my S tier. I thought it
Oh,
was. I really enjoyed
Wow.
listening to like the song from like a musical perspective, and then also is one of my favorite franchises. So just like hearing a song about it was like,
I was always trying to go musically and something that I would want to listen to more of the time.
mm.
That's where I would go for like my S tier. But I just I also love Evil Dead.
So
That's an
this
S
is
tier
something
franchise.
that we haven't talked about. Are we doing one or two S tiers for this album?
I'm down for two.
Yeah, I could do two. Yeah.
Two. Okay. So I will be okay putting. I love Ex Mortis, so I'm okay putting it in S tier because
I
the the breakdown and the chorus is constantly stuck in my head, and like randomly I'll start singing it just in my head, just out in public. So Ex Mortis in the S tier. All right, let's go with Assault and Batteries.
yes. This one was Child's Play.
Definitely Child's Play.
Yes, Child's Play. Um, so I actually really enjoy the song. I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but this was one that when they were bringing the album out, like doing like tour for the album, they put out multiple videos, and this was one of the videos, singles that they had out, and I watched the video multiple times because the video is super fun. It's got that great Child's Play like feel where it's three people in a house. You got Chucky and then the mom and the son, and it's just real fun. I'd probably put this in probably B tier. Though it's just one that is super fun, but I don't really like going back to re-listen to it a lot.
I also had this in B tier, and I'll say, like you said, Hunter, this one is super fun. I like the clips from the movie that they have in it, but the
Hmm.
doll's voice really kind of turned it off of the song a little bit.
I'm
Oh yeah,
different.
I get that.
I'm different actually. I like the children sounds in it. I don't. It's just like because I knew exactly what it was when they started playing it, and I just like you'll never grow up, and I was like that's really fun kind of. Yeah, so I enjoyed
Hmm.
the song somewhat. It actually like at first I was like I after listening to it like once I was like that Child's Play song might actually be my S tier, and then it's not. It's A
Hmm.
tier for me, but I did enjoy that one a little more.
Okay.
I feel like.
All right. So let's go with this one, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be your C tier, but I'd be surprised if it's not. Take your pick.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I believe My Bloody
My Bloody
Valentine.
Valentine.
My Bloody Valentine. Yes.
Oh, I
So
put that.
I was correct on the that's the C tier.
Yeah, this was my C tier one.
This is kind of awkward because that's my S tier.
Really?
Wow, I
No,
did not.
no,
Oh,
no, no.
oh, okay.
Well, was it
Got
your
me
C
there.
It's
tier?
definitely my C tier. The notes that I said were no offense to the artists, too much screaming, terrible. C tier.
I will say, this song has Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse on
Yeah,
the.
not a fan.
So.
Sorry, I'm sure
Good, good.
you have a lot of fans and you're doing very well. Who the fuck am I? But not my style.
Mine either. It was definitely the most metal song on the album. I don't think it had like most of the other songs had like kind of more of a catchy singy chorus, and this I don't.
It's a lot of growling, I feel like, and a lot of stuff like that, which a lot of people. Well, I feel like there's a lot of growling too, actually, and like, there are people who really like that style of music. It's just not us.
Yeah, I'm sure if that's like your favorite style of music, this is like your
yeah.
Yeah, so to me, it took me a long time to enjoy this song. It took me a long time to enjoy kind of the heavy metal, like death metal tone of it. But as more as I listen to it, I kind of keep enjoying it because I like kind of the references. I like the way that like the breakdowns help, and I love that clean chorus where it's right before Corpse Runner comes in, and it's that really like mellow like kind of setup, and then it just hits you with the screaming. But I know that this is not for everybody, and I know that there are some songs on here that I might like because they're a little heavier that you guys may not like, so I'm okay with putting it in C tier.
Yeah.
So Take Your Pick is in C tier. All right, so let's go to Funeral Derangements.
That's the one I was just staring at. Okay, go ahead. I can take a guess. I believe this is with an S. Pet Cemetery.
It is indeed Pet Cemetery. By the way, a really cool Easter egg. If you watch the video, there's a person driving, and it's just like in the movie.
Don't go down that road.
Gage. No. Gage gets hit by a truck. The guy who is driving the truck is the same guy who played young Gage in the original Pet Cemetery movie.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And he got that actor back to run over an actor playing little Gage in this music video.
He's also like a big Nightmare on Elm Street actor as well. Like he played the little kid in the Masked Dream. No. New Nightmare.
New Nightmare, yeah.
New Nightmare.
They interviewed him for
Never Sleep Again. Yeah.
Yep.
Really cool.
So, where would you guys put Funeral Derangements?
I had this one in my B tier. I think this one was a little bit maybe more metal, and I don't know, just didn't have as catchy of a chorus, I think.
It's interesting because I don't have it in my head right now, but I actually wrote the chorus is catchy and most of the vocals are good. But then I said the screamo does hold it back for me, and then I still said A tier. But a B tier is fine. Whatever Hunter decides.
I will say, I love the way that they have that guy who says sometimes dead is better, and it's like the quote from the lyrics, and like it'll like just come in like randomly in the chorus. It's perfectly done. I am actually gonna put this in A tier. I think it's a heavier song, but it's not as heavy as Take Your Pick. It's one you can kind of enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Funeral Derangements in A tier. All right. Let's go to the one right after, Rainy Day.
This one I'm not gonna get. I saw the little clip that it was playing, and it looked like some sort of like video game zombie movie. I guessed Silent Hill. I know it's not that.
I guess, and yeah. So originally, just listening to the first part of the lyrics, they reference zombies. It's obviously a zombie movie. I was thinking maybe 28 Days Later at first. Evil, it's Resident Evil is my guess ultimately because of the game stuff.
Okay.
Yes, Resident Evil, and it's
There's
also
No, it's okay.
there are a lot of video game references in this song too, like pick up the controller,
yeah.
but also Rainy Day, the Umbrella Corporation. So
Yeah.
yep,
So we
Oh.
haven't seen those movies.
None of I mean I know what the Umbrella Corporation is. I mean I've played some of the games, but like
yeah.
none of that clicked for me for some reason. It's so weird that didn't even come up
I only
in my
was
head.
like, what's a horror movie that has zombies and was based on a video game?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So where would you guys put Rainy Day?
This was C tier, or not C tier. We already have a C tier, B tier for me.
Okay.
I don't know.
I said
Um,
catchy A tier. If it was catchy and if it's a song that's catchy enough for me to go like okay, I threw it in an A tier. If it's one that I'm like way too much metal, screaming stuff like that, like then I threw it in a B tier. It's kind of how I went.
yeah, I thought
Okay.
that's how it went, but apparently not. Maybe I need
Well,
to just listen
we
again.
have different tastes
Yeah,
too, a little bit. So
Yeah.
Pink Hunter.
I'm
I
much
would put
harder than you are.
I would put Rainy Day in A tier. I think the
Okay.
chorus is super catchy. That it again it's one that gets stuck in your head and that you're constantly just singing.
Actually, I mean, I say Carrie is, or I say I'm harder than Carrie is, but she's the one with tattoos, so maybe she's
Yeah,
harder.
2 teeny tiny tattoos.
On your wrist, though, that's badass.
Oh yeah, this arm. Harry Potter tattoo. Let's go.
Yo, always.
Always,
That's
baby. Let's do it.
amazing. Yeah.
So let's go on to the box.
I thought by name
Oh,
initially this would be 7, but then I listened to it and realized that it is Hellraiser.
I thought of Seven as well, and then yeah, I also got Hellraiser
It
because
is indeed Hellraiser.
so much lyrics like what it was like pleasure or pain,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
that's exactly what
Yeah.
Hellraiser is.
yeah.
A weird
Literally, the
sexual
opening
thing.
line is pleasure or pain. Is literally the first line of the lyrics of the song. This is my S tier.
Mm.
Oh,
I love this song so much. It's a perfect mix of not too heavy, really good cleans, and a really catchy chorus. Plus the fact that like there's a lot of like imagery that you can listen to the song and see exactly what he's talking about, and it's not too reference heavy on Hellraiser. Like you have one line from there where it's like sadist to sinners, the absent of hearts, tear your soul apart, and that's the only time he uses a line from Hellraiser is when he says to tear your soul apart, sounding like Pinhead. I just think this incorporates everything I love about the original Hellraiser: the pleasure, the pain, the kind of the heavier, the softer, plus the fact that he got a who was it? Hold on. Brendan Soller and Ryan Kirby, who are part one is a part of a heavy metal band, one is part of a Christian rock band, to do the chorus and do kind of the heavier vocals as well. I think they blend perfectly. This is my S tier, guys.
awesome.
For me, yeah, I mean, for me, I put A tier. I think that you make a good point that it could be like maybe the best constructed song. I don't know. I haven't listened to it enough, but for me, it's not one that like I enjoyed some of the lyrics for sure, but I feel like it's not one that I can just sing in my head right now, and that's kind of where I was going with ranking this album in
Hmm.
particular. Is just songs that stick with me more are more of my S tier type. So yeah, A tier for that one from me.
I also had this in A tier. It was, but I
Okay.
thought it was a really great song. It was like high A tier.
Did you say what your S tier is yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, which one? Oh, Ex Mortis. That's right.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, so let's move on to the shower scene, which
So that's, yeah, Psycho.
Psycho.
yeah,
Of course.
obviously Psycho. By the way, I would recommend checking out the music video because it's done all in black and white. It's at the Bates Motel, so it's a really really cool like mini movie.
That's awesome.
So yes, of course, the shower scene is Psycho. This is another one of my favorites. I'd probably put it high A tier. I think it's slow enough, but without being super super like melodramatic in a way.
Yeah, this was high A tier for me as well.
So if Carrie was paying attention, this is the one that I've been singing over and over. This is my S tier.
Oh.
I think it's I wrote in my notes. To me, this is by far the catchiest song. I really like the vocals and the usage of the Psycho score in the song, like
The
that.
breakdown is so amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I put this one in my S tier. I just sitting there walking around like say, and I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
that's my S tier.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna put it in S tier.
All
I'd
right.
be down for that for sure.
It's so catchy, man. And that breakdown is one of the best breakdowns of the whole album. The way
Yeah,
it hits that ching ching,
so
so
cool.
good.
And what a great movie to homage there too. Psycho's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah. All right, so we got a few more on the list. I just dropped my
Mhm.
pencil.
More
So
than
let's
two?
I think
do.
it's two more.
Oh,
Yeah, so we have Farewell to Flesh. So let's do
Mhm.
that one next. Farewell to Flesh.
If you can see my shirt in tiny writing.
Yes, I
I
didn't even
think
notice
it.
Farewell
that.
to the
I
flesh.
think it is Candyman, or maybe Candyman, or maybe Candyman, or maybe Candyman.
Is he gonna say it the fifth time?
Huh?
No, he did not say it the fifth time.
Nope.
So yes, it is indeed Candyman. So Farewell to Flesh. What do you guys think about this song?
So for this one, I was so when I'm a big album person, so doing like an album, just diving into an album, ranking the songs is really cool. It's a really cool idea. Not like I was saying, like not an album that I probably would go back to a lot, but I like when to kind of like look and see how albums are constructed and stuff like that. For this one, it starts off really like kind of soft, and I was like waiting, and I was like, is this going to be kind of like how Nirvana's Nevermind ends, where it's just a soft song the whole time? And then he gets loud again, and I'm like, you could have actually like gave us like one of your softer songs and like made it like a full album that's like you got a lot of different stuff, and it's just I think he just can't. He's got so much energy, he can't not make it big. And I'm like, okay, and it got bigger, so that held it back a little bit for me, but I still really liked it. So I put this one in A tier still, because I still think even when I got loud, it's still fun, despite maybe it could have been placed somewhere else on the album, or I don't know. I'd have to listen to it more to actually like have a real opinion on it. But some of the notes I said on this was I was hoping this one would be just be soft song, and it got loud. And then I liked the flies buzzing sound effects, and some of the instrumentation was really cool. So that's why I put it in A tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put this in high B tier. I could see it moving up into A tier. It was like my dividing line between A and B tier.
Yeah.
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 So I will say, I like the fact that this is the last song on the album, and it's opposite of the reason why Chad said. I like the idea that the final song should leave you with something kind of big, and the fact that in this song we got a mixture of everything he gave us in the previous 12 albums. We got a little hard metal, we got a little great clean vocals, a lot of great small kind of slower intro. It gave us everything that the album was giving us. It's just in one song, and the guitar solo in the song is uh was it Flight of the Bumblebees, which is
Huh?
um the song used in the opening of Candyman, but it's just a metal remix of that on a guitar.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I think maybe the song could have worked a little bit better had maybe there been some more slower songs or softer songs in the rest of the album. But I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's for another day to like actually talk about like albums. You know, it's still a decent album in its own right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this in A tier.
Nice.
So let's see. Yeah, Farewell to Flesh. All right. So we have one more song, I believe, which is "Welcome to Horrorwood," which is the
Yeah.
opening song. This does not have, as I said, a a movie reference to it. So it's opening night and this work as one continuous song, pretty much. So, what do you guys think of "Welcome to Horrorwood" as the kind of the opening to the album?
This was one of my favorites. If we hadn't already filled up S tier, I would put this in S tier, but I'm super happy with it in A tier.
This also works for me in a very high A tier because it is one of the really catchier ones.
Yeah.
More bad than good, stuff like that. And I really like. So I said this is one of the more catchier songs, and then I said I
Mm-hmm.
really like the phrase "There goes the neighborhood." In fact,
Yeah.
I was just telling my friend yesterday that I want there to be a time where something happens and I go, there goes the neighborhood. And it hasn't happened to me yet, but maybe one day. But the reason why is because we recently watched Wes Craven's Swamp Thing, which I like, but it's not a great movie, but I still like it. And so this is a little bit of a spoiler alert for Swamp Thing. It's an old movie, so it's fine. But what happens was a guy turns into a Swamp Thing, and then a little boy basically doesn't he get shot or something like that? He gets killed, and then you're like, no, that boy is really cool.
Wait, you're spoiling parts of the movie that have nothing to do with what you're trying to say.
Can you let me get to it? Cool. So basically, when the Swamp Thing heals the kid, he comes back to life, and then the first thing the kid says, he looks up at him and he goes, "Ah, there goes the neighborhood," and it's a really funny line. So I really want to say that one time, but be genuine about it.
All right. So A tier, right? For
Oh, A tier, A
I was
tier.
trying to
Yeah.
find. I was trying to find a good segue out of that. But I was just like, okay. All right.
So A tier then. That would have been a funny line to transition out of it.
All right, so I believe that is all of the songs on the album. We have them from S to C. So I'll go through it real quick. S tier, we have Ex Mortis in the shower scene. A, Hip to be Scared, A Rash Decision, Funeral Derangements, Rainy Day, The Box, Farewell to Flesh, and Welcome to Horrorwood. B tier, we have Worst Vacation, Fly, and Song Batteries. And C, we have Take Your Pick. All right, so if you guys want to go through our actual full length ranking, you guys want to do that real quick? From
Yeah.
13 to 1.
Yeah. So I would say
Let
the
Oh.
only one we put in C tier was Take Your Pick. So
Yeah, that's
that would
definitely
be
13. Let me go back to the titles. Okay, so if we're going to B tier, can you remind me what's in B tier, Hunter? Because it's not the same as what I
Yeah,
have.
so it's Worst Vacation, Fly, and Assault and Batteries.
I would say Worst Vacation for 12 for me.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I would say 11 Fly and then 10 Assault and Battery, but I think Kerri would
No,
be the
I would
reverse.
no, I would say the same thing
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Okay. So 11 is Fly, and then 10 is
Mhm.
Worst Vacation. Or I mean,
Assault and
Batteries.
Battery.
Mhm. Wait. Wouldn't it be 12?
13,
Oh,
11,
yeah, you're right.
12.
You're right. I'm miscounting. Hunter's right.
Yeah. 10, yeah.
No, it's because I have it listed different on my list, obviously.
All right, number 9.
What's in the
I'd be okay.
everything except for 2 are in the A. What's in the S tier?
It's
Ex Mortis and the shower scene.
That's right. Okay, so for the lowest A tier,
I'd put A rash decision at 9.
I'm fine with
I would
that.
be fine with that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe rainy day or funeral derangements for the next one. One of
Rainy
those.
day. I'd rather put
I
that
would put
there.
rainy day next. Yeah.
Okay.
I would be down for funeral arrangements after that. So
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
And then I'm looking at like funeral to flesh and uh actually that's what I would look at, but that's Hunter's S tier, right? That's what he wanted for S. Oh no.
no,
So I'd say farewell to
I would
flesh.
say farewell to flesh too.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine with me. Fairwater Flush.
And then I would personally say next hip to be scared and then welcome to Horrorwood.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, so 5 is Welcome to Horrorwood, right?
5 would be hip to be squared, or which one would be lower? I would
Hip
say
to be
hip to be squared a little
scared.
lower, and then hip to be
Okay.
squared, and then
Scared,
welcome to,
right?
yeah.
Is it squared or
No,
scared?
it's scared.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
Squared is the
Actual
Huey
song.
Lewis song.
I probably would rank the wait, do we already rank the box?
Oh no, I thought
No.
since that was Hunter's S tier, we were gonna put that at like 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So 5-4 is
Okay.
Welcome to Horrorwood.
3 the box.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. 3 the box.
What was I would be fine with the shower scene and then Ex Mortis as number 1. I would be fine with that.
I would be down for that too, although I could also go the other way if Hunter has a strong opinion.
Yeah, I would probably go Ex Mortis 2, Shower Scene 1. I think that
Cool.
breakdown really drives it home to me.
Yeah,
One of my
that's cool.
favorites.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with
Two.
Evil Dead or Psycho, so there you go.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And then number 1, the shower scene.
Nice.
All right, here are our final ranking. Number 13, Take Your Pick. Number 12, Worst Vacation. Number 11, The Fly. 10, Assault and Batteries. 9, Arrest Decision. 8, Rainy Day. 7, Funeral Derangement. 6, Farewell to Flesh. 5, Hip to Be Scared. 4, uh, Welcome to Horrorwood. 3, The Box. 2, Ex Mortis. And 1, The Shower Scene.
Nice. We did
A
it.
really great ranking. Is there anything else that you guys want to bring up about this album before we close it out?
Not me.
No, right. This was just fun, and it's there's not many like horror. This is probably one of the only like horror themed
Well,
albums out there that's not like a movie soundtrack or like
well, based on
Yeah.
a thing, because you could argue that Kate Bush's Hounds of Love, which is now
Okay,
super
yeah.
popular, is a
Yeah.
horror album.
Right. Well, and like most like
It's about witches.
like there's tons of bands like the Misfits or like Guar that are like horror bands.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this one I think that's just interesting
And-
from the perspective of doing the songs the way they do them.
I agree. But then you also have Nick Cave, who is a very big gothic artist who gave Scream its theme song.
It's a cool episode
Yeah.
because like there's just not like how many other times would we really be able to cover an album, an entire album on
And
here.
I also think that what we could do as well is have more episodes like this, not necessarily covering a specific album, but like we could talk about maybe our favorite horror film scores. We could talk about our favorite like needle drops in a horror movies, or just like theme songs for horror movies, stuff like that. Could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. In the first Sewer Scream album, he does like a lot of like the popular ones. Like he does Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Scream. Like there's a Scream song that I absolutely love. It's literally the whole Scream song is Casey Becker talking to Ghostface and Ghostface responding in song form, and it sounds like an entire play. It's amazing. But then he has some towards the end of the album that's like very obscure horror. Like he has what is it? Garbage Day. Why am I forgetting the movie that Garbage Day is from?
Oh yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. He has a song about
We need
that.
to see that. We've
Yeah, we
never
do need
seen
to
that
see
one.
Christmas time. We'll save that for Christmas time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
And we don't
yeah.
even need to rewatch the first one because apparently it's like Friday the 13th part 2 where they
It
just read through the whole movie.
yeah. So
Well,
literally the
people had
first
to.
Well, not redo
half
it,
of the
but
movie is
show
just
it, re-show it.
Oh.
yeah. So what's really cool on this band is not only do they have love for horror and they show that in their songs, their videos are like mini movies. So like it's ongoing now with the Welcome to Horrorwood, where the whole story is like, did the lead singer of the band Spencer Charnas actually murder his girlfriend? And
I
it's
think
the whole
so.
idea of like it's a murder investigation. They have Bill Moseley playing a cop who's famous for playing Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Part 2. They got Joe Bob Briggs as the
Nice.
judge in one episode, in one in music video. They have Chelsea and James from Dead Meat as cops in their video. So it's a really like immersive, like kind of it's like small YouTube horror movie going on, with the songs being used as like evidence tapes, as a way like they're watching the the songs as they happen to try to find evidence on them. It's really fun. It's like this
Yeah.
kind of like immersive experience where you can listen to the songs and then kind of watch a mini movie going on with it.
Yeah. It
Nice.
sounds like Beyonce's Lemonade or something like that. Or did
That's the first time in history that Beyonce
Fallout?
and
That's
Einstein
it. Fallout
Kills
Boy
will
did
be.
another
Yeah.
kind of thing like that, where they did a
Yeah,
bunch of
so
videos, like movies or
yeah,
whatever.
so it was the Youngblood Chronicle, I believe is what it was called, for the Save Rock and Roll album.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
But we're about 53 minutes in, I'd say. A pretty decent episode. One of our shortest, but hey, we got through a lot. Do you guys want to go ahead and close it out for tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people find you guys online?
If we're so Chad and I are doing 61 Days of Horror, we are a little behind. But if you do want to keep track with or see what we're watching, check it out. I do have it on my letterbox. I think Chad has it on his as well. And I'm at English Slayfest.
I think mine's just Chadwick Webb. Yeah, like always, you check out my channel because we actually just dropped a ranking. It's a Chadwick Webb. You could just drop. We just dropped the ranking of Denis Villeneuve films, which was really fun to do. And then yeah, like I talk about Picture This all the time. We're doing 1991 next month. We just finished 2003, which was our Lord of the Rings series. We talk about the best picture movies, we rank them and do all that stuff. And looking forward to 1991 because, as usual with October, we're talking a lot of movies, but we're talking The Silence of the Lambs.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to talk about with Dylan and to see where it ranks amongst the rest of the movies of that year. Because you also got Beauty and the Beast, Bugsy, JFK, maybe some other ones you haven't really like. The Prince of Tides, which is a Barbara Streisand film. Not some that people bring up all the time, but yeah, do they stack up against a classic Disney film and maybe one of the greatest horror films ever made? So yeah.
All right, so I cannot wait for next week's episode because we are going into Halloween season, ladies and gentlemen. I am super excited to go through the October spooky season here at Welcome to Primetime. Should I announce what next week's episode is going to be about?
Sure, because I forgot. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I am currently watching on Shudder a 101 scariest movie moments in honor of the Halloween season. So the idea I had was to take either the top 20 or the top 10, give you guys the movies that they had on the list, and I want you guys to pick the moment from that movie that you think got put on the list as their scariest movie moments from that movie.
Could you do us a favor and maybe, and like we won't I don't want to like have not seen a lot of them is my only thing. Like I've seen a
I will
lot,
make
but
sure that you have the list ahead of time before
okay,
we go
all right,
live. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that. So,
fun.
talking about scariest horror movie moments is gonna be fun. And then I feel like for the rest of the Halloween season, we're gonna do like maybe favorite horror movies of a certain decade. We can do some uh, maybe Halloween memories that we have. Getting closer time to Halloween, I think there's a lot of stuff we can do on this podcast that will be kind of a fun like trip down memory lane for all of us.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, guys. So if you did enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe to the Nerd Entertainment Network down below. Thank you for watching. See you guys soon. Peace.